Hello and welcome to Bite. I'm very happy to announce that KFC recipe has been debunked. I've managed to sort out the recipe one-to-one and as expected, is extremely simple and does not require much work or any miracle ingredients. I'll present here the ingredients that they use, but honestly, we ask for the spice and crisp they flawlessly create, not the batch of ingredients when we buy, and I strongly believe the 11 spice is just a marketing scheme. You can actually do it with only salt, peppercorn and hot pepper. I've done this recipe many times, with different ingredients, and the result was pretty much the same. The whole secret is in the method of mixing, not the mix itself. Follow my instructions and you'll never have to pay for KFC ever again. I've got here some chicken pieces, some chicken wings and breast. I'll have a sandwich later, as I'm actually quite hungry right now. Before anything else, we need to make a marinade, which is quite essential, as the marinade will reduce the cooking time, gives us the color we want, without burning the batter, cooking the chicken in depth and give flavor. You need to measure 1 liter of water, as everything I'm giving here is calculated for and can be used for up to 2 kilograms of chicken. So, for the marinade, add 1 tablespoon of hot pepper, and you can use chili for the marinade. Later on, for the batter, chili just won't do, but we will talk about that when we get there. I've got here 2 tablespoons of garlic salt. If you don't have garlic salt, just use regular salt and crush 3 garlic cloves and add to the mix. I honestly could not stay in the queue to buy due to this virus, but I knew I have the garlic salt and does the same job. 1 tablespoon of freshly grinded black peppercorn if possible. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. 1 teaspoon of dried thyme and 1 teaspoon of dried basil. Here I've got 1 teaspoon of sodium bicarbonate. The bicarbonate will cut through the meat fiber and will make the chicken soft within 3 hours. If you don't want to use it, just don't, but let the chicken marinate for at least 8 hours in the fridge. And we are done with the marinade. Next step, I'm going to show you the batter ingredients, but they don't need to be ready for at least 3 hours. But here they are, just in case you don't have all you need, or just make sure you are ready later on for frying. For the batter, I've made the measurements for 300 grams of flour, but since it's easy to make, you can make more, as this mix will only cover for 2 pieces of chicken, about 10 wings and 2 chicken breasts. We change from black peppercorn to white peppercorn and add 1.5 tablespoons. The secret for the crisp is in the baking powder, and I've calculated it at about 3.5 grams for every 100 grams of flour. Too much of it gives a weird taste. Not enough and we lose the crisp. Now we need to talk about the hot pepper. We need to add a very hot pepper. Any hot pepper just won't do here anymore, as we need a pepper hotter than a 100,000 Scoville mark, because adding too much of a weaker pepper will burn before the flour and before the chicken is cooked, taking that beautiful color we are looking for. One pepper like that, easily found on the market, is the bird's eye pepper, and it does the job flawlessly. Add 1.5 tablespoons of it. I've added 2 tablespoons of salt, and yes, you need that much, but this comes down to every country, since the batter seems not to be the same everywhere. It's either the franchise that takes a cheaper way of doing it, or I just don't know, because it's not quite always the same. I've actually noticed that in the UK, where some chicken wings have a red sauce between the batter and the chicken and some don't. If you want that, instead of adding 1 liter of water, add 4 tablespoons of pepper paste dissolved in 100 milliliters of water, but the result will be the same. Now, let's go back to our marinade. Mix in the water all the ingredients. Stir until the salt dissolves. Let's get to our chicken. I'm going to have 2 pieces of chicken, but to do that I'm going to have to separate the thigh from the drumstick. Feel that joint in between and cut right through. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to make an incision in the drumstick from the bone to the skin, without piercing the skin. This will ensure a proper frying, as the piece is rather big and I want that color to be just perfect, without being worried the chicken is not properly fried. I'm also gonna split the chicken wings. using the same method. From the chicken breast I'm going to make 2 sandwiches, and I'm going to split it in half and split again, but not separate, to properly fit in a burger bun. Slash the chicken, otherwise will tend to fold back when frying. Give the meat a mix in the bowl. Cover the bowl with a plastic wrap and place it into the fridge for at least 3 hours. Find a large enough pot and add oil, just enough to cover or come close to your biggest piece of meat. Heat the oil at 150 degrees Celsius. Try to keep it between 150 to 160 degrees Celsius or low to medium. If you have a thermometer, it's brilliant as you can control the temperature very well. Now, the secret for that specific KFC pattern lies in mixing the chicken in a sealed container. I've got here a sweets box. You can use any container that can be covered and doesn't spill flour all over, and you can agitate properly. Add the mix in the container. Cover and agitate to mix everything. Now, optional, have ready a bowl of cold water. I'm doing this because I really enjoy that KFC batter and I want more. But if you want to keep it real, as KFC does, mix the chicken just once. Add the chicken in the container. I'm going to start with the chicken breast, as I'm seriously hungry right about now. Add the breast in. Cover and mix like crazy for about 30 seconds. Shake to clear any extra flour. This is the secret. I can't understand the math behind. I can't understand why Colonel did this in the first place, but he created something beautiful and tasty. So, again, if you want to keep it straight KFC, place the chicken in the pan at 150 degrees Celsius for around 8 minutes. 4 minutes on each side. If you want a thicker batter, add the meat in cold water for 10 seconds and add it back in the flour and agitate thoroughly for another 30 seconds. Try to shake as much flour as possible. Recognize the pattern? Place in the pan for the same amount of time or until golden brown, as the extra batter will not affect the cooking time too much. This barely touched the hot oil and already smells like being near a KFC restaurant. This is the pattern I'm looking into, a genuine KFC chicken. With the chicken wings, is the same story. Add them in the flour mix. Agitate like crazy. They fry in the same amount of time and gives me just enough time to prepare my sandwiches. I've already been to my allotment and got some salad. Had some tomatoes cut and ready. Cheese, some lovely bacon, and to top it up with some homemade mayonnaise, all in a bought tiger bun since I was too lazy to make my own. My fries are also ready. And I'm also ready to eat. But not before the thigh and drumstick are done. Because KFC is not KFC without them. I'm going to place the wing on plate with some paper towel to draw some oil, and I'll start with the bigger pieces. The process is pretty much the same, but the cooking time is different. From 8 minutes, we have to jump to 12 minutes, turning halfway and really try to keep the temperature at 145 to 150 degrees Celsius. We don't want to burn the batter, but we want to cook the chicken. So, now you know how to make KFC at home. It's not hard, actually. From other chicken schnitzel-like recipes, this one seems to be one of the easiest. The secret is in the very hot sauce, as to be honest, due to the spice everything else is rather numb to taste. And in the way the chicken is covered with flour. This was Bite, and if you enjoyed it, press the notification bell for more recipes. Subscribe, like, and as always, thank you for watching.